We're going to talk about, of course, the challenges in IT and cybersecurity and how we can understand the workforce gaps, understand alert fatigue, scaling concerns, and then we're going to get into exploring the business and operational value of automation in order to solve those challenges. We'll talk about frameworks for prioritizing, selecting platforms, and expanding impact. And then I think one of the most valuable pieces is just to really understand how to avoid the pitfalls, how to standardize processes and overcome that resistance to change. We will then wrap up with aligning use cases with governance, data sensitivity, and tooling options before we go into the open Q&A discussion. So let's jump in. So as I said, in past sessions, we've talked about the persistent workforce shortages in cybersecurity and in IT. We've shared this statistic according to the National Science Foundation. The number of computer science bachelor's degrees being awarded only grew by 2.6% over the course of 9 years, compared to the 22 to 32% growth in new IT positions, obviously creating a significant gap there. What that has resulted in is a skills mismatch as the positions continue to go unfilled because the IT pros don't have the required training and expertise to fill those positions. So tech already has one of the highest turnover rates, but new data shows that IT unemployment is 44% higher than the national average because of that skill gap. We also have talked about alert fatigue being a problem, a contributing factor to turnover and burnout. So we talked about the fact that repeated alerts, repetition of the same alerts can cause even greater alert fatigue. And the likelihood of accepting an alert drops 30% for each reminder that someone receives. Another problem with alerting is the lack of understanding of severity. So when an alert doesn't differentiate between a catastrophic situation and a minor issue. I've seen an example, a hospital example, where there's an alert that notifies the nurse or whoever's administering the medication if the dosage is over the recommended amount. If it's 0.01% over the recommended amount, the alert is exactly the same as if it's 3,000% over. And this is from a real example. There was a real example where the administered amount was 3,800% over the recommended dosage, and it wasn't caught because the alert was identical. Obviously, that can result in a lot of problems in the IT operations and cybersecurity realm as well. Ignored alerts, slow response times, burnout. So, Jason, in your experience, have you seen alert fatigue resulting in these kind of costly mistakes or other dire consequences?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I had two experiences during my time at Cyber Command that really cemented them in my head. And the first one was that there was this Iranian actor who was a little bit slapdash. They were out there just trying to take whatever they could, usually from DoD contractors, occasionally from DoD itself. And an exploit came out for Citrix. And there was a team called Project Zero India, not any relation to the Google Project Zero, but they released a well-formed exploit on GitHub. And people have been watching this for a while, but it was taking a while to get these patches in place, and DoD was behind like much of industry. And this Iranian crew, in 61 minutes, they went from that exploit landing on GitHub to taking it, repurposing it, firing against this DoD network, and they had domain admin on a fairly significant DoD network in 61 minutes. Amazing velocity. And, this trickled up to us. We had put some sensors in place, my team, and had tuned DoD sensors to look for this sort of thing. We saw it. We got notifications and got on the phone with them within several hours to say, hey, did you know this is happening? And the thing that blew me away, just completely shocked me, was that the team on site at this network, the network owner, the IT ops team that owned this network, had seen it. They had seen the entire thing, the entire exploitation, But because the Iranian team was a bit sloppy, it was still calling back to GitHub. Their exploit was still calling back to GitHub for the necessary files to run the exploit.
Okay.
And the IT ops team saw that, and they had become so accustomed to unauthorized system administrator actions that it had just fatigued them with alerts. Of just bad practice, that they assumed, well, this is calling to GitHub, like no reputable actor, no actor worth their salt would do it. So therefore, this must be unauthorized system administration. We'll figure out who it is later and send them a nasty note and tell them to stop. Right. And so that's one way that it can